Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany. Tonight I'm going to make, I'm actually doing a cheesecake brownie, but this is the cheesecake part of it. So, I actually decided last minute that I was going to record this after I kind of started. So these are all your ingredients that you need to make the cheesecake. You need at least 8 ounces. It depends on how much you want to make, but you need at least 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of sour cream. You need like 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla extract. You need 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. You need 3 large eggs, and you also need just like a pinch of salt, okay? And that's your cheesecake. So I've already started blending down some of my cheesecake, so I'm just going to blend that a little bit more, get it nice and creamy before you add the rest of your ingredients. You do want to make sure that all of your cold ingredients are room temperature, so that's your sour cream, your eggs, and your the cream cheese, okay? So make sure those things are room temperature. Then you're going to blend on low speed with the cream cheese first. Make sure that your cream cheese is blended down like till it's like really creamy, because you don't want any like chunks of cream cheese in your cheesecake. So you want to blend that down like really fine, and make sure it's really creamy. You also are going to add, you're going to blend in each ingredient like one at a time. So you start with the cream cheese. Don't want to over blend, because like I said, you are going to mix in each ingredient one at a time, and you're going to blend as you go. I also forgot to mention, you do want your oven already preheated to about 350. It depends on, you know, how really hot your oven gets. Mine gets like really hot, so I have it like on a little under 350, but somewhere in between 350 375, depending on what type of oven you have. Okay, so from there you're going to need 1 cup of sugar. After you've blended down your cream cheese and got it pretty creamy, you want to add 1 cup of sugar, just regular sugar. Okay, 1 cup of sugar, and then you're going to blend that in, okay? once you have your cream cheese and your sugar blended in really well, it's going to look nice and creamy, just like that. I always forget to turn on this other light for you all. It's kind of weird. So I'm going to see if the lighting is better like that. I don't know. That seems like it's a little too dark. So now I'm going to cut back on the other light. This light that I have, it is like really good for like when you're doing like a face video, like where I'm showing myself type of video. Anything else, it has a really loud type of glare on it. So it may not be as important to use. But just in case, we're going to put that over there. Okay. So, after you've blended your cream cheese and your sugar, you want 1 cup of sour cream. Okay. So you just open that. You want to drain off any juice that's on it. And this 8 ounce should make 1 cup. Should give us the cup that we need of cream cheese. But just to make sure our measurements are accurate and we have exactly how much we need, we're just going to put it in the measuring cup anyway, just to be sure. So an 8 ounce container of cream cheese will make 1 cup, the 1 cup that you need for your cheesecake. See, that's that entire cup. And you're just going to add that to your mixture. Just going to dump all of that in there. If I did not already say, I hope everyone is doing well and feeling well on today. It was a crazy day. It was okay at first, and then, yeah, I got myself together, and I left to go to work, and, yeah, it was cool at first, and then all heck started breaking loose. Like, all of a sudden, the light comes on, and I'm completely out of oil. Then the next thing, no, first I noticed that my tire was jacked up. It was like really extremely low, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need air in this tire. So I went around multiple places trying to get air, couldn't get air, and then so I ended up stopping to get air somewhere where it was like $2. It didn't work. I ended up finding another one, so I'm riding around on a tire that's like basically flat trying to get air, and it's something these gang stalkers do all the time. They always sabotage my tires and different things. So just about every other month, I'm having to get another tire, replace a tire, change a tire by myself, all this other kind of stuff. So I'm kind of used to it. I'm over it by now, but yeah. So like smack dab in the middle of me trying to work, I'm having to deal with a flat tire. Then all of a sudden the light comes on. I'm completely out of oil. Like usually a sign or something comes on, and it's like way before the date for me to get another oil change. You know, didn't know if the mileage had reached the certain level. So all of a sudden this light comes on, and it's like engine oil completely out, cut off the car or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what else could happen? So I had to deal with the tire myself, stop, get oil, put that in myself. It's just always something, and did that, kept it moving and kept working. Then the tire started flapping, like this knocking type of sound, and I'm like, it wasn't doing that at first. I just knew I needed to get some air. The tire looked like it was really flat, And then, yeah, come to find out, like, wires and all kinds of stuff, like the tire's been punctured or something, and the wires and all kinds of stuff is sticking out of the tire, so I got to get a whole nother tire. Thankfully, we made it home, so I had to stop work a little earlier than expected. We made it home, so thank goodness for that. I'll just deal with getting another tire tomorrow. So yeah, that was my day. It's always something, like every day. These satanic powers that be, they look for any way that they can annoy you, hurt you, distract you, just make your life a living hell on the daily. So anyway, cream cheese is blended, sugar is blended. Now we've just added our sour cream. We're going to blend that. Okay, we got that blended in. I don't know if I said tablespoon or teaspoon, but you need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract from there. As you can see, if you can see it, it's nice and creamy and everything. So I'm going to get a spoon and we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Okay, so here's your vanilla extract. You don't want to use too much and you don't want to use too little. No, not enough. So we're just going to add that in there on the vanilla extract. And if you want, you can add the vanilla extract and blend it and then add your lemon juice. Or you can just add them both in together since they're both liquid. Also, usually, if you're just going to make a regular cheesecake, you would want some kind of crust, whatever type of graham cracker crust you would like. However, because I'm doing this and this is going to be the center of what I'm making, I don't need a crust for this. Okay. Uh-oh. Gosh, that just fell right in there. So I'm going to add 1, and then we're going to add 1 more lemon juice. Okay, so you have a total of 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I'm using a springform pan. Springform pan is the best to use for a cheesecake because especially when you want to make a cheesecake that you're adding to something else. So like if you're making a cheesecake cake or you're using something else with the cheesecake and you just want the cheesecake, it's good to use a springform pan because the bottom comes out of it. You actually unlatch this and the bottom falls out of it. So you just grease your pan and then you just line it with parchment paper so that your cheesecake won't stick. Okay, so I've already greased that pan, and as you can see, I put my parchment paper in there already. Okay, so the next ingredient we're going to add is the eggs. You do want to put your eggs, you need 3 large eggs, okay? Put them in some type of, this is a glass measuring dish, whatever, or you can use a bowl, whatever you have. And just kind of, you don't want to scramble it too much, but just kind of mix it around, okay? And of course, like I said, it needs to be room temperature, so then you're going to add that to your cheesecake base. Okay, and then you just need a pinch of salt, just like a dash of salt. So you can just like use your hand, put a little salt in there. Oh my gosh, it's like a little bit more than a pinch. But just throw that little dash of salt in there. And then you're going to blend that up, and that's all of your ingredients. And then you can add it to your pan, and you can put it in the oven to bake. And it needs about maybe about an hour, depending on how fast your oven bakes, how good of an oven you have. Anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. I would leave it in there for an hour. Check it to make sure it's not jiggly in the middle. If it's pretty solid, then what you are going to do is you're going to bake it for an hour. Cut your oven off, but let it sit in the oven for another, say 30 to 45 minutes, okay? Okay, those are all the ingredients that you need. You have to have for your cheesecake. However, I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of flour and blend that in as well, because that will keep your cheesecake from cracking. So as it bakes, sometimes depending on how long you bake it, it'll crack a little bit, either around the edges, sometimes in the center. You don't want to overcook your cheesecake. You know you have started to overcook your cheesecake, or either your oven is too high when your cheesecake is not done yet. However, the top of your cheesecake is like have turned like a golden brown looking color, okay? So I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of flour. And we're going to blend that in. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you're just going to keep a good eye on your cheesecake and, you know, turn your temperature down. Should you see your cheesecake starting to crack or something, that's fine. The flour is not a main ingredient. That's why you do not need that much of it. However, I'm using it, like I said, because I don't want my cheesecake to crack. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that in really quick. And that's it, guys. That's how you make cheesecake. Okay? Then you're going to take your springform pan, take you some type of a spatula or something so you can scrape along the sides and you get all your mixture. You can shift through it really quick just to make sure your ingredients got mixed really good. Then you're going to add that to your pan. You want to put the entire mixture. Now this spring form pan is pretty deep, okay? So I actually can put this entire mixture in here and not have to worry about once it starts baking and rising that it will overflow. However, this this batch that I just made, if you were using a pie crust or like a graham cracker crust, you would actually be able to make 2 separate cheesecakes. So I'm just making sure I get all of my mixture in there. We don't want to waste any ingredients. And then I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to allow it to bake for at least an hour. After an hour, you want to check on it. You know how well your oven works. If you have the type of oven that cooks fast, you may want to put your oven on like 300 or maybe 315 or something like that. You need at least 300, okay? But typically in just like a regular type of oven, you will probably need it around maybe, I don't know, maybe 325, 350, something like that. But like I said, it just kind of depends on the type of oven you have and what you are using, okay? So I'm going to put this stuff in here. I'm going to wash it. Now another thing that you can do that is pretty clever to do, you can take if you have like some type of deep baking type of dish, like a long pan baking type of dish, you can put water in the bottom of that dish and sit this dish on. I'm going to show you. Hold on just a minute. I actually have 2 different racks that I'm going to show you of how I'm going to do it. And this is how you can also make sure that your cheesecake don't overcook or cook too fast. Okay, everybody. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. Okay, this is a baking dish. It's kind of dipped down, okay? So I'm going to take this baking dish and I'm going to put water in the bottom of this baking dish, or in this baking dish, okay? Just like that. Then this is actually another baking dish, but as you can see, it has like little slits where you can see through it. I'm going to sit this on top of the first baking dish, like so. Can you all see that? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cheesecake and I'm going to sit it on top of here and place it in the oven like that. If you would like to keep your cheesecake from browning too fast on top, you can place a thin layer of foil on the top. But it's not necessary. You do not have to if you don't want to do that, okay? So I'm going to place this in the oven. Okay, everybody, we are back. So I'm going to use Duncan Hines Chewy Fudge Brownies. Can you all see that? I'm sorry, I forgot to lift this back up where y'all can see. Okay. So, like I said, I'm using Duncan Hines Chewy Fudge Brownie Mix. Okay. So, this is simple enough. Okay. You're just gonna empty the contents of the brownie package into your bowl. And depending on how you like your brownies, if you want them just fudgy brownies, you just need 2 eggs. However, if you want a cake-like type of a brownie, you want to use 3 eggs, okay? So I have my brownie mixture in here. I'm going to use 3 large eggs. And so I'm making a cheesecake brownie together, and I have a topping that I'm going to put on it. It's going to be so good, okay? But you want a 1/2 cup of oil, which I already have in here. A little teensy weensy secret: if you like really moist cake or anything that you bake, a little secret to add to making it a little bit more moist, excuse me, you just want to add just a little bit more than recommended for whatever recipe you're doing. So if you're doing a recipe and it calls for a 1/2 cup of oil, you can use a cup of oil if you want it really moist. So if you have a cake that calls for a cup of oil, you could use 1.5 cups just to get it a little extra moist if you want to. Okay, that's a little secret, little trick. And I like cakes, I like breads, I like all kinds of stuff like that, pastries and things, and I like it moist. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit more than recommended in my mixture. You need 1/4 cup of water. Okay, so we're just going to add that to our mixture. And that's like all the ingredients that you need for this box mixture of brownie. And we're just going to blend this all together. Ingredients is blended in really good. And you can hand mix this if you want to. It just takes a little bit longer. If you have a mixer, it'll go a lot faster. You can get her done, okay? So this is your brownie mixture. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. I dumped some of that out on the table trying to show y'all. Anyway, this is your brownie mixture, okay? I'm just going to scoop this up off of my table. But anyway, that's your brownie mixture. And I'm gonna go rinse this out, throw this out. That's your brownie mixture. I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to use another springform pan. However, the pans that I have, they come in 3 different sizes. So I need this to be the same size as the cheesecake. So I think I'm going to use this pan, which I oiled and I lightly dusted with flour just so my brownie won't stick. And I added some parchment paper in the bottom of there. Just so I can easily get that out of there when it's done. I'm going to take this to the kitchen. So that's all your, the cheesecake is going to bake for about an hour or so. Then you have to let it sit for about 30 or 45 minutes in the oven after you turn the oven off. And you want your cheesecake to cool completely before you take it out of your pan. However, your brownies do not have to cook that long. You only probably need about maybe 20-25 minutes for your brownies to cook. And you can go ahead and place that in the oven with your, you can go ahead and place that in the oven with the cheesecake on a different rack because the brownies are going to finish quicker than your cheesecake. Okay. So, this is what I wanted to show you all. These springform pans, you would think that they are very expensive. They are actually not really expensive at all. I bought a set of 3 of them for, I think, like a little under $10 from Walmart. So it was a great deal. I don't know if it was on sale at the time. So you get this really huge one here. This is a really big one here. So you would want this for like a bigger size, say if you were doing a cake or something like that. And you can use, you don't have to just use these for cheesecake. You can use other things to bake. And what you do is you unlatch this and the bottom comes out of it like that. So you can just lift it up like that and transfer whatever you're baking, whatever you're making, without having to dump it over to get it out. So you have this large size here. You have this size, which this one is just a little bit smaller than this one. And then the one that I use for the cheesecake, it's just a little bit smaller than that one. So I actually got them, I think on sale, like a total of 3 of them for like less than $10. And they come in a package together. So I wanted to show you all this because I was thinking about doing my brownie in this. However, I need it to be the same size because they're going to stack once they're done. And this one is like a little bit bigger than the first pan I used. So I was kind of eerie about that, but I was like, so that's the reason why I said I think I'm just going to do this one. I don't know. What should I do? But I already got this one ready, so I guess I'm just going to roll with this one. It's going to really kind of make me mad, though, if I got a little bit too much batter for just this one pan. I should just do it on the other one, and I can cut the edges off if it's a little bit too wide, huh? I don't know. Okay. So while I'm debating which pan I'm going to put this in, I think I'm going to go ahead and grease this pan and put some parchment paper in here. And then I'm going to decide which one I want to do. I think I may go with this one just because it may work better. Okay? So, hang tight, guys. Also, I thank everybody for watching. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, voila, I got the other pan ready. So yeah, I decided to use this one because I think after I thought about it, I think this is going to be a little bit more batter than that pan there. So I'm just going to use this one, and it's going to be just a little bit too wide, but I can cut off the edges so it can be the perfect fit to match the cheesecake. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my brownie mix in my pan right now. Okay. And like I said, you're going to let this bake for probably about 25 minutes. You don't want to have to change the adjustment on the oven because the cheesecake is already in the oven. We're going to sit this on a separate rack so we won't have to move the cheesecake. Okay, so I'm just making sure I got all my ingredients out of my bowl, and I'm adding it to my pan here. We don't want to waste any ingredients, okay? And it's really kind of tough. I love cooking. I love baking. And usually, like back in the day, I would have get-togethers and just, you know, let people come and enjoy themselves, and, you know, all the food and the drinks and everything else is on me, you know, and just come and have a great time. But, you know, so many people over the years take your kindness for weakness, and people just show up and take you for any and everything that you offering or you got, and you know they really being shysty towards you behind your back and different things. And now that I am aware that I am a target, you know, I don't have any company, I don't have any friends, I don't have no family over or anything like that. It's just to myself. I'm just to myself. I mean, so I be really kind of drove because I be like, I'm used to like cooking things and feeding a lot of people. Sometimes I'll cook and make up plates and stuff like that and go out and feed the homeless. I always do that during the holidays times, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas. I make a really big dinner and I go out and I feed the homeless and stuff. But yeah, so I'm usually when I bake big desserts and stuff like this, I have plenty of people to like share it with and give it to, so I don't have a whole bunch of extra and stuff. But it's just like me and my daughter, and like I said, I don't have any family, any friends or anything, and I'm a loner. So child, look, I done gained a little weight because when I cook, it's kind of hard to cook in small portions, and then when I bake, like I love some cake or something, okay, and breads. And you don't even understand, that'll put weight on you so quick. And like the later you eat and then you lay down and try to go to sleep or something like that, and that's sitting on your stomach, you gain weight like that too. But anyway, so I have my brownie batter in here, if you all can see that. I'm going to place it in the oven. I'm going to put this bowl in the sink so I can wash it. And we're going to put the brownies in the oven, and it don't have to sit on any special rack or anything like that. So I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay. And like I said, you want to make sure you set your timer. And so, yeah, like I said, somewhere in between, depending on how fast your oven bakes, you want to do anywhere from about 25 minutes to 30 minutes on your brownies. Your cheesecake needs to bake at least an hour. You can, after an hour, you can take a toothpick and put it in the center of it just to see if it's solid or if it's still jiggly. If it's still jiggly a little bit, you need to bake it a little bit longer. Like I said, after you your timer has gone off or you have finished baking your cheesecake, leave it sitting in the oven. Turn your oven off. Leave your cheesecake sitting in the oven while your oven is cooling down, and you're going to allow it to sit there for anywhere from about 30 to 45 minutes. Once you have waited that 30 to 45 minutes, by then your oven will be good and cool. By then, you're going to then take the cheesecake out, and you're going to cool it down in the refrigerator. Well, you can actually, once you take it out of the oven, after you cut off the oven and let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, okay, then you want to take it out the oven and let it sit on the counter and cool for maybe another 10 minutes. Then you can take it out of your pan and you're going to place it on some clear plastic wrap, and you're going to wrap that cheesecake up, and then you're going to put it in the refrigerator. Most people like to let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. However, you can allow it to sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, okay? And then after that, whatever you're adding it to or whatever else you're going to do with it, you can proceed to do that, because it will be completely cooled all the way through and everything. So that's how you make cheesecake, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do brownies, which that was, you know, pretty easy. If you can read, you can fix a batch of brownies. So we're gonna wait for that to get done, and we're right back with you all. Okay, all. Well, I'm going to use an icing on my cheesecake brownie because I'm doing some other toppings on the top of it. You'll understand once I get it all done and show you the finished product. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you make a buttercream icing or a cream cheese icing, however you prefer to say it. Okay, so you need 8 ounces of cream cheese. I'm using Philadelphia original cream cheese. Okay, so you're just gonna get that package open. Of course, again, you do want your cream cheese to be at room temperature as much as possible. So if you already know that you're going to prepare something like a cheesecake, or really and truly anything where you are adding cream cheese to it, you want to sit it out the day before just to make sure that it is completely room temperature. Okay, so you're going to open that package and you're going to add the cream cheese. Okay, and we just get off the rest of this because we don't want to waste any ingredients. Okay, this stuff is not cheap. Okay, so after you have your cream cheese in the bowl, you are going to blend it. So give me just a second. I had to wash my utensils and everything. Let me get them back on. Okay, so we have our cream cheese in there. We're going to blend this down real good. Okay, you're going to blend that down really good to make sure it's as creamy as possible, because once again, you don't want chunks of cream cheese in your icing. Okay, next you're going to add a full stick of butter. Okay, and you want to make sure it's room temperature as well. It really should be really soft and squishy, but not to the point where it's liquid and melted, but like very soft. Okay, so you're going to add that to your cream cheese, and you're going to blend it in as well. Once you have that blended, you want to take your spatula, because your ingredients have gotten all up on the sides, and you want to scrape the sides of there just to make sure all of your ingredients are blending together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just scraping the sides of it and putting it down in the middle part of the bowl, just to make sure everything is blending together like you want it to. Okay, and then we're just going to blend that for just a little bit more, okay? Once you have that blended really well, it's going to look like that. And from there, you want to add, depending on how much icing you need, I actually, for this recipe, you need 2 cups of powdered sugar. However, I'm only going to use 1 cup because I don't want a huge batch of icing, because I don't need that much. I'm only making, if you want, like say if you're making this and you want to ice in 2 cakes, like a 2-layer or more cake, you're going to need to use 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm only going to use 1 for this recipe, because that's all I need in there. Okay, I'm going to blend that in, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, you need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you are not used to baking, then you need to actually get a teaspoon and use 1 teaspoon. However, I've been baking for quite a while, so I can eyeball it. If you don't want to grab a teaspoon real quick or don't have a teaspoon, use the top full of vanilla extract, okay? And really, vanilla extract is what you like to your taste. So you can use more, or you need at least a teaspoon, okay? If you wanted to add a little bit more, that's fine. That's your taste buds and what you like. So we're going to blend that. And that's all there is to making buttercream or cream cheese icing. It is going to give it a kind of yellowish look because of the butter. Okay, so it's more of a buttercream cheese icing. Okay, it's going to be very creamy and smooth at this point. Okay, it should not be stiff or anything at all. Okay, I'm going to add one more ingredient, and this is my own personal recipe. Well, all of this is my own personal recipe. Different people like things different, do things different. I'm going to add about a cup. You can use a half a cup or a cup, whichever you like, of whipped cream. Or if you don't want to use cream, you can actually buy cream. But cream, natural whipped cream is like really good. So I'm at like about a cup of that to my mixture. Technically your icing is done. You do not have to add this last ingredient if you do not want to make it extra creamy for the dish that I'm making. This is what I want to do. You also, you want to make sure that your icing tastes as good. That's perfect. I've already tasted it, so I'm going to blend this in. That whipped cream is gonna do, only thing that whipped cream does, I mean, it makes it even more creamy, but it makes it fluffier. Okay, that's the reason why I like, if you want a fluffy type of icing, whether you're putting it on a pie or a cake or whatever you're making, if you want it fluffy, add cream to it. Preferably whipped cream, because the whipped cream is already kind of, it's really soft, but it's fluffy like, and it'll give that fluff to your icing. Before that, it's just going to be kind of smooth and creamy, and once you put it on there, it'll kind of run down and you can ice in it really good. However, if you want a thicker icing, that's where you would add the 2 cups of powdered sugar. I don't want it that thick, but I wanted it fluffy, so I only used 1 cup of powdered sugar. This recipe actually calls for 1 stick of butter, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's actually all you need to make a buttercream cheese icing, okay? And that's all there is to that. However, if you want a fluffy icing, add some type of cream to it. You can buy all different kinds of cream depending on the cream that you like. I like to use the whipped cream because the whipped cream is already fluffy, okay? And so it gives my icing that fluffy type of texture type to it, okay? Okay, guys, believe it or not, with the magic of, no, I'm just kidding. But believe it or not, it has been an hour. I checked on the cheesecake and it is not quite ready, so I'm letting it bake for another 30 minutes. So, you need to let your cheesecake bake at least an hour and 30 minutes right now. So, I just wanted to let you all know that. Okay? Okay, all. We are still waiting on the goodies to finish baking. So I normally do a video. Oh, hold on. Let me cut this down, honey. So they be trying to strike my video because something that's on the TV in the background. Let me cut this down. I normally do a video and we talk about some type of topic or something while I'm doing my nails. As you can see, I've done my nails over. Okay, I did them myself. So I did them yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to do the nail design yet. So I'm going to do a little bit of nail design while we wait on those things to finish baking, okay? So I'm just getting my stuff ready. Like I said, I've already done my nails. I'm just going to do some nail designs, which isn't going to take, it shouldn't take too long. We have some different tools here. That's nail polish remover that I just put in here. And that's just so if there's any outside, you know, polish or something around the nail, you can take the brush and just go around that and get that nail, that extra nail polish that got on a little bit on the skin or something off. So that's all that's for. I'm gonna do some type of little rhinestone design, just something to make my nails look a little bit more fanciful. The brownie should be ready in just a minute. As I came on and told you, it's going to take the cheesecake just a little bit longer than the initial hour that I told you. My oven cooks like really fast, so I actually turned the temperature down just a little bit because I didn't want it to overcook. So it's baking just a little bit slower than normal, just because I didn't want it to overcook. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glittery little base to my nails here, and I suppose we can discuss a topic. On my last video, I was showing you all how to cook a dish, chicken spaghetti, and some other things that I prepared with it. And at the end of that video, or between that video, I started up a discussion that I told you I was going to finish later, and we were talking about MK Ultra mind control and behavior modification. I spoke a little bit on that topic. This is a very big issue. Some people that know about it or think they halfway know about it, they just, you know, they kind of overlook it because they say, oh, this is something, you know, the celebrities go through. This is something, you know, the power, you know, those high in leadership or in power deal with. The fact of the matter is, they use different forms of mind control on the entire human population, on the masses, period. And a lot of people are unaware of it. And even the people, like I said, whom are aware of it, kind of, chunk it up as, oh yeah, this is happening, this is going on, but, it's predominantly happening to those individuals whom have sold out to these satanic powers that be, to keep them under control, to keep a strong watch over them, or manipulation and control over them. And that's actually, I mean, that is correct, but one would be wrong in thinking that only those said individuals are experiencing such a thing. This is actually happening to women, men, children, elders, people of all ages. Okay, the mind control has become a very big problem. It is a federal run and operated and funded program. It is, if I'm not mistaken, the CIA created or invented or have patents on not only just MK Ultra mind control, because there are various different levels when it comes to mind control technology. I'm pretty sure many people have heard about Elon Musk new, I guess you can say, invention or study upon the human brain chip. You just have to ask yourself, why would the government need or want access to human brain chips other than to control the human population? And this has become a problem because these people, these elite individuals high up in power, they are so demonic, they are so controlling, that they actually think, and they're frankly psychotic, because they actually think that they have the right to control another human being's mind, body, soul, thoughts, feelings, actions, everything. And the fact of the matter is you don't have to be a part of this industry. You don't have to be a part of the government. You don't have to be a part of these satanic powers that be. On any level, whether you are involved in secret societies like Freemasonry, or you're involved in sororities and fraternities, military. You don't have to be a part of any of these things for them to use this programming on you. There are certain individuals who we are all being watched. All of our data is being collected. But there are certain ones of us who are being watched and manipulated and controlled more so than others. Okay, for whatever reason, we are seen as a threat to these powers that be, and frankly, anybody is seen seems as a threat to them. Who aren't brainwashed, who aren't dumbed down, individuals who are awake, that don't go along with the status quo, their propagandas, that those of us who question their authority, whom don't just blindly believe any and everything that they come up with and tell us. We're put on this hit list, this watch list, like we are terrorists, when in fact, our own government are the terrorists. Okay, they are domestic terrorists, whether they want to admit so or not. They are torturing and terrorizing American citizens every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what people are unaware of is they have the power. They have something called the hive mind brain, I think it's like a D brainwave type quantum computing. They have different tactics, different techniques that they use in order to control people on various different levels. A lot of people, you of course, and you should be, you are under the assumption that you are in control of your own mind, your own thoughts, your own behavior, your own actions, and actually that's not true. These people have technology where they can alter your frame of mind. They can alter your way, your thought process. They can alter feelings and emotions. They have the technology to alter people's sexuality, to alter people's faith base, whether you believe in a higher power or not. Whether you decide to be a part of the occult or satanic type organizations and different things, and they are using this to manipulate people in many different ways on many different levels. As I have said before, these staged events that we see happening, these are not random events. Okay, these things are being planned, plotted, schemed, organized, funded, set up, and put into place by a higher cabal, by these higher forces. And they do this to try to cause other things to happen. They do this to control the narrative, to control the masses. And this is also why your mainstream media are so they got so upset with your alternative media news stations and or platforms and different things like that. And they set out on this campaign to call anybody who was a truther or outspoken a type of individual. They call them conspiracy theories. They have it bad putting mental illness on somebody. Oh, these people are mentally ill. They're crazy. They're out of their mind. When frankly, it's these individuals who have sold out to these satanic powers that be, whom are in fact crazy. They are the true definition of mental illness, if you ask me, because they are completely psychotic. They're sociopaths. They are psychopaths. Very narcissistic, evil, wicked, demonic individuals who do not care about humanity. I don't care what puppet they get to come and stand before the people and, give you this speech about, they care about America. They care about human beings. They'll get up there and say whatever they think you want to hear. But trust and believe me, their agendas, their underlying agendas are totally different than what they claim and what they say. And they are using many different tactics to control. They're using many different tactics to control the masses. And they do it on various different levels. People are unaware that, when it comes to your children, even in these schools, especially public schools, your children are being groomed. The only reason why school even exists is because they want to create the frame of mind of your child, to alter their frame of mind, to brainwash them, to dumb them down, to make them submissive and obedient to these powers that be. They are grooming your children. And all kinds of very evil, wicked, demonic things. School has very little to do with actually learning and education. Really and truly, if you are able to comprehend and if you are able to regurgitate anything, to remember and regurgitate anything that you are told, you'll pass school. It has nothing to do with you being smart or anything. If you can remember everything you are told, and when asked about whatever you were told, regurgitate exactly what you were told, you will get all A's and you will pass, and they will, you will get this diploma that says, oh, you got this certain GPA. Oh, you are smart, and you're doing nothing but recanting, repeating, regurgitating what you have been told. And we know so much that we have been told is a lie, is a blatant lie. People are being controlled on various different levels, are being manipulated on various different levels. This is the reason why these people spend millions of billions of dollars to keep you entertained and distracted. And while you're being entertained, while you're being distracted, there are other sinister things that are going on behind the scenes. That people are frankly unaware of, and until whatever happens goes down, and it's very sinister. But besides the mind control, well, actually, still on the mind control. What I was about to say is these staged events, these false flags, quote unquote, that we see happening and going on, all these lone wolf shooters, all these supposed terror attacks, all these supposed spree killings and things like this. These people, if you really look at these people are under mind control. They are completely under mind control. They have been programmed and they have been triggered for the situation that has occurred and that has gone down, and they either show up and kill them right away, or I feel like the ones who are under full mind control and they can literally fully control them, those are the ones that they'll show up and they'll capture them right away, and they sweep them off, and nobody's able to really see them like that, speak to them like that, interview them like that, or anything at all. More often than not, these patsies who are probably considered as like collateral damage, if you will, they throw those under the bus. So they have been brainwashed and triggered to commit whatever said crime, like a mass shooting, for instance. But if they are collateral damage, they will show up and kill those individuals. Some of them, they show up and they kill right away. But the ones that you do see that makes it out of there, if you notice everything that's going on around them, they are just as calm, cool, and collective. That's because every action of theirs is being controlled. If you look at it, most of these mass shooters, most of these spree killers and things, you have never in your life seen such calm individuals who have just committed such a heinous, supposedly, such a heinous crimes. The crisis actors are the first on the scene to be seen. They are controlled as well. Your gang stalkers are actually something like your crisis actors. They essentially do some of the same. But okay, besides the MK Ultra mind control, their mind control programming, and the behavior modification, a lot of people are unaware also of unconsensual human experimentation. Okay, and we know that there's a lot that's being done. There's poisons that's being dumped in the sky through the chemtrails. There's poisons and toxins that are being put in the food. There's a contamination that's being put in the water. All kinds of things, okay? And these things are being used to alter the state of mind of individuals all over. Okay, everybody, so the brownies are done. The cheesecake is done. I'm letting both of those cool. The cheesecake is still in the oven, and we're going to allow that to sit there for about 30 minutes. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to allow it to sit and air cool for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to place it in the refrigerator. I'm just letting the brownie sit out and cool. If you're wondering, this little device here, it enables me to pick up the little rhinestone thingies here that I'm going to use to put on my nails to create the design. What we were getting ready to talk about was the unconsensual human experimentation. Okay. There are many people who are being experimented on in various different ways. Many people are experimented upon through the use of vaccines. Many different people are experimented upon through the use of, just like I was telling you, of the poisons and the toxins that are being administered in the air. Where they do these things the most, where they do these things the most, you will see different behavior in certain individuals, in certain neighborhoods, in certain areas. They predominantly do this in urban areas. However, they do experiment and do a lot of these experimentations in various different areas at different times. And it's a very serious crime that is being committed by the government against the human population. Okay. I was going to do that, guys, but I don't think I want that one on there. So now, because my nails are already pink and I put that light pink on there, and yeah, we can't see that good. So I think I'm going to use a different color. Sorry about that. I just thought about that when I put that on there, and I had to fix it really quick. So yes, there's a lot of different things that are being used to experiment on human beings. Some of these experimentations are being used to prevent people from being fertile, from creating new life, or causing one to be unfertile when it comes to the men. Oh goodness. And causing women to lose children when it comes to them. So there's various different things that is being done. This mind control technology is also something else that's being done against people, and many people that this is happening to is unaware that they are under mind control. They are unaware that they are targets. I told you before that many people are targets and have absolutely no idea that this is being done to them. Those of us whom are outspoken individuals, we know, because like I've told you before, there's a part of the programming where to maximize the torture tactics, to maximize them targeting you. They will let you know that you are being watched, so you're constantly on guard because you know certain things are being done. But there's actually various different things to experiment on people, from the vaccines to medications that are being used on people, to things that they are administering in our air, in our food, in the water. Many different people are experimented on in different levels, and people have spoke out about this before as far as being targets. I believe the technology that they are using against targeted individuals, I believe that they are going to use this technology sooner or later on everybody. And I believe many of us are test subjects. And, you know, those of us who are outspoken individuals, I believe they're using parts of this on just about everybody. But I believe those of us who are full-blown targets and we are aware that this is going on at some point, I think that this is going to be used to usher in their the New World Order, beast system, all of your puppet leaders, supposed leaders, alleged leaders, have spoken of this New World Order. So, like, nobody can call me a lie about this. Every time you turn around, if you think that the New World Order is something magnificent and something great for the human population, yeah, you're just as brainwashed and dumbed down as they want you to be. Because, yeah, the New World Order has nothing to do, nothing wonderful and great for the American people planned. It's going to be very traumatic. There's going to be a lot of casualties. There's going to be a lot of life lost. And a lot of people, some people, they're way too far gone. There's a lot of people who they're comfortable with, hanging on any and everything that these satanic powers that be say, and that's what they bet on. That's what they depend on. And for those people, there's no persuading them. There's no getting them to see, getting them to understand what's happening, what's going on, and it's just going to be when it's way too late before they realize just how bad they have been deceived. And that's really sad. That's really sad. We are not evolving in this world at all. It gets worse year by year. Okay, guys, so I just did that one design. Can y'all see that? The light is probably like really bright, but I just did that design there, so I'm gonna finish. But yeah, so this is how you do nail design. But yes, there's various different CIA operations happening that's being used to taunt, hunt, and harass American citizens. There are federal programs that are being used, and everybody that you can think of. This is the main reason why really there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. And essentially there's no help that's available, because from your basically all levels of your military is involved. And that's what makes it very difficult for you to get help or assistance from anybody trying to go and talk to somebody. And a lot of people is just unaware of that. A lot of people, are comfortable, with thinking they are living their best lives or something, when, you 9 times out of 10, you are so far from living your best life. Especially when you think about what the human population is enduring here on planet Earth. Yeah. And there you can find things to do that may be fun or may be exciting, but frankly, you're only distracting yourself. You're only lying to yourself by forcing yourself to believe that everything is okay. It's kind of like if you're a person who's down and depressed, and say you go and see a therapist, and this therapist is a regular person just like anybody else. They have no real solution or cure for you being stressed or depressed. So what do? They pull out their prescription pad and they give you a antidepressant, antipsychotic, whatever they claim that you should take. Okay? This does not mean that you are no longer stressed or depressed. That pill is going to trick your mind into believing that you're okay. when technically whatever was stressing you or making you depressed, that problem is actually still there. So essentially that pill is tricking your mind to believe that, oh, you're not depressed anymore, when in fact you actually are. Why? Because all you got to do is wait to that until that pill, the effects of that pill wear off, and guess what, 9 times out of 10 you are still depressed, you are still stressed. And what happens is this pill, this pill's one of its side effects is suicidal thoughts. So now where you were only stressed and depressed, now you are feeling suicidal because you decided to go and talk to a therapist about your problems, and their solution was to give you an antidepressant, which tricked your mind to make you believe that you were no longer sad or depressed or stressed. And the side effect of that is now you have suicidal thoughts, which you didn't have suicidal thoughts before. You were just stressed and you were depressed. And so, but so this is what they do. This is what they do. And that very thing is riddling so many people. With a lot of what they're dealing with what they're going through, with what they're having to endure. And it's sad. It's really sad. It really is. And people need to wake up and realize what these satanic powers that be are doing, to all of us. So, because it's fine for you to kind of brush off anybody else and say, oh, you know, well, I'm not dealing with any of that. I don't think I'm a target. You are. You just are. You're unaware. There are many other things that you may not be a target in the way that I'm being targeted, or somebody else whom is a target. But the fact of the matter is, all these things that these people are doing, it affects us all in one way or another. And the sooner you come to the terms with that, the better off you would be. Because the powers that run, rule, and control this world, they don't care anything about any of us. And the fact of the matter is, they have come up with some very sinister plots, plans, and schemes to destroy us all. And that's what's matter of fact. And people, like I've said in my previous video, this is not about you who's the biggest and the baddest, you know, in this world. Because a lot of people, the first thing they say, oh, well, they're not going to force me to do this, that, and the other. I have rights and this, that, and the other. Yeah, we were told that we have rights, but we clearly was lied to. Because if we actually had rights, then the same people that told us that we had rights would not be invading and violating those rights every day. So, you know, you just at some point you got to rise up against what is happening. You got to stay awake. You got to stay aware. You got to get prepared. And most of all, you have to get your life right with whomever or whatever it is that you believe in. Stop feeding your kids the lies, the regurgitated lies that they have told you to tell your kids, so they don't have to grow up believing and thinking, you know, these same lies that I mean, from generation to generation, these same lies are being regurgitated and told, from one generation to another. And at some point, it's got to stop. It's got to change. Because, I mean, sooner or later, you know, we're just going to be doomed. We really are. And it's sad that it's like that. But I speak like this. I say these things not because this is not about you liking me or anything like that. This is because somebody may have never even heard this. Somebody is unaware of this. Somebody isn't awake. Somebody is, you know, clearly, you know, probably totally in the blind of all these things happening. And, some people are aware. Some people just don't want to be awake, but somebody needs to say something. And so, y'all see those designs? I did another design there. The light is pretty bright. I wanted y'all to be able to see, but y'all can see the design. So, I'm just making up something, coming up with a certain design as I go along to kind of figure out what I want to do, because I'm trying to do this and talk to you all at the same time. But yeah, so we need to wake up, we need to rise up, we need to step up, and we need to speak up against the ill wills of the satanic powers that be and what they are doing to the people, period. And we need to stop being blinded and distracted by all this garbage that they put in our face to try to, make us focus on. Because it's getting really bad. It's already bad, but it's gonna get far worse. And there's actually various different levels. I kind of got off topic, but there are various different levels of their human experimentation that they are using and that they are doing on the people. Various different levels of their experimentation that they are using and that they are doing to the people. And it's not right, it's not just, it's not fair, it's not okay. And, it's no time to be afraid of the big bad wolves. We got to fight back. If you're not going to stand for your own life, for your own health, for your own well-being, who in the hell else will? And like I've said, it's not about, who's the biggest, who's the baddest, because what you need to understand, even if you have weapons, they have weapons, okay? So even if you're somebody who is licensed to carry and you go, oh, they're not going to make us do this or not do that. What you need to understand is they have technology. This is what I'm telling you. They have technology to force you to do things against your will, in your right mind, in your own sane logical mind, your way of thinking, your way of being, and everything. Of course, those of you who are licensed to carry, you're not going to give up your weapons. Why would you do that? Especially when you feel like most people who are licensed to carry, you have weapons because you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your family, so on and so forth. But you're definitely not going to give up your weapons if you feel like your life is in immediate danger. But if they have technology to disarm you, which would totally normally be against, your will, using your own thought process, that is the point. That is what I'm trying to tell you all, okay? So they've got technology. You may say what you won't do, what they can't make you do, and this, that, and the other. You think they don't sit back and watch and listen and see? This is why they plan a lot of the crap they plan and see how people are going to react. Like creating a so-called pandemic. They watched to see how fast the food flew off the shelves, how fast the toilet paper flew off the shelves. What were people going to do? What were their reactions? They are planning all of this. The guy stood right in the press conference and told you this is a live exercise. A lot of things, no matter how big, bad they are, a lot of things they tell you the truth in plain sight. You just have to be able to understand their cryptic language, their witch language in which they are speaking. But yeah, these elite satanic powers that be, these shadow governments, the ones that you may not know their name, the ones that you may not ever hardly see and things, these are the very individuals who are the most damning to us, who are planning our demise. And it's about time that people wake up and realize this and rise up against this. And, most of all, stop being distracted. Stop being entertained by all the garbage that they put before you. None of that crap matters. Everything that we have been told that matters in this world, or that we should do or should have, or ways we should be, it does not even matter. We've been told that crap just to keep you distracted, solely to keep you distracted from what you needed to be paying attention to. And that's the wickedness that is happening behind the scenes and essentially right in your face. But most people you're too worried about, your favorite sport coming on. You're too worried about the celebrities and what concerts are happening and this, that, and the third. This is the reason why they spend billions of dollars on keeping you distracted. And so this is what people need to rise up against. This is what people need to know. So I did some little flowers there, and I put some rhinestones there at the tip of my nail there. And I have the cross in the middle there, if y'all can see that. So I'm just doing a little something. I want to do a different design than I had on my nails the last time. Sometimes I do designs with the different polishes. Like, you can mix polishes and you use something like this as well, and you can make like a marble type of look where it blends all the different colors, which is what I did on my nails, I believe, the last time, or it may have been the time before last I had my nails done. No, I think I did a little bit of it on my nails the last time. But this time, I think I'm just going to kind of rock with them like this, because they're like this pinkish color, like this powder pink color. And I put a glittery coat on top. And I'm using the rhinestone decorations on there as well. These are the rhinestones here, and they're like literally every different color you could possibly think of. Because my nails are like this powdery color pink, I'm using purple and a darker color pink on them. These decorations here, they're like all different kinds of things I can put on my nails as well. This light is so bright and so funky, so I don't know if y'all can see that. But there's like all different kinds of shapes in here. I've got stars and different style roses. Just like little leaves, like all different kinds of stuff, and they're like really cool colors and stuff. So I ordered this big nail kit, and it comes with like so much stuff, like everything that you would see or find in the salon to do your nails. So yeah. And this is actually like a new hobby of mine, because during COVID, like everything like closed down and stuff. And so I started doing my nails myself, and I said, you know what? Like, I don't know. It's like I challenge myself. I have a photographic memory. So anything that I'm pretty much good at anything that I do, especially anything I put my mind to and try. But, anything I don't know how to do, I literally can watch and see it done like once, maybe twice, and I can totally master it. So during COVID, when like everything was locked down and everybody was at home and all this other kind of stuff, I'm like, I challenge myself, and it's like a healthy challenge, like not like think you're better than somebody else challenge, or trying to outdo somebody else type of, conceited, you know, type of thing, or just kind of combating with people. It's not like that. You're just challenging yourself to see, okay, can you do this? Trying something new, picking up a new trade, a new hobby, or something like that. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy the acrylic and everything that the nail people, they use in the nail shop, and I'm gonna try it myself. Like, I've had my nails done so many times in the nail shop, and I literally, like I said, have a photographic memory. So I literally watch everything they done, and like I totally mastered it. So like, yeah, I do my own nails now, and it's like a lot cheaper. And I actually used, like, I ordered the tips and things, and I have like the actual acrylic and the acrylic liquid. So like, these are like, real nails like you would get done in the salon, and the decorations and like everything. So I have like a full nail salon, which I think I showed y'all in a different video. I have like a full nail salon in my home. And even with the video where I did like the pedicure and stuff like that, the foot massager thing or whatever. So I have that stuff too. So I mean, it's cool. Like, when you don't feel like it and you got some extra money and you just want to kind of pamper yourself, you can go to the nail shop and let them do it for you. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. Um, However, you can spend less money actually doing it yourself. Like, to be honest, like, what you would spend in one trip to the nail shop, getting a full set and getting decorations and everything, you could easily spend anywhere from $40 to $50, depends on the salon you go to. For that amount of money, you can buy a massive kit that comes with nail designs, files, just like everything, the acrylic powder, the acrylic liquid, like everything you need to have your own salon at home for what you would pay for one trip to the nail shop. And it lasts a long time. Like, I haven't run out of it yet. And I ordered different style, different size nails and different things like that. So yeah, it's cool and it's fun. And as a target, it's something cool to do when you're a loner and stuff. So, I go out in public when I need to go to the store, or I need to handle some business for myself or my daughter, or to work and things like that. But other than that, when you're a target, you kind of like really don't too much want to be in public. When you are in public, is like, you got to set mind. I'm going to do this. We're going to be here for X amount of time, and then we're going to go. Because what happens is when you are a target, you are gang stalked and harassed. Like, everywhere you go, you are followed, you are watched. And your privacy and your space and everything is just invaded. You got people around you who's talking loud enough for you to hear, and you clearly know that they're saying certain things and they're doing certain things to harass you. And it's just a lot of different tactics that they use and things that go on. And yeah, you know what? They still stalk and harass you and do make things happen when you're at home. But shit, at least you're in the privacy of your own home and you're by yourself, and you don't have to be sitting around other people, complete strangers that don't know you from Adam, who are just brainwashed, sold out, mind controlled puppets who are being triggered to do, who are either have been triggered or have been recruited to do the sinister, satanic, demonic ass crap that they are doing to you. Excuse my language, but I'm working on that. Like, literally, I completely did a 360 in my life. The only two habits I have is using profanity and smoking cigarettes, and I'm trying to stop them both, okay? Because, like, the cigarettes, it's just poison, okay? It's just another way for them to try to kill me slowly. And yeah, I'm just trying not to even give them any satisfaction. But at the same time, I'm not messed up, because like every day it's like a living hell being here on this earth. It's just like miserable. But yeah, I'm trying to stop using profanity. So, but every once in a while, I'm like, sometimes don't a curse word just describe how you feel and what you want to say, like, so well. But anyway, yeah, I'm working on it. So. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to finish my nails. Give me just a second. I'm going to go and check on the cheesecake and the brownies. Like I said, they're actually already done. They're in the cooling process right now. So I'm just going to go make sure everything is everything. This is a really long video. I actually wanted to do the nail video separately, but it's already late. So I'm like, we're waiting. Why not just go ahead and add this? So. Just a second, guys. Okay, guys, so as I already told you, the brownie is done. I'm gonna peel this, if I can get it. I'm gonna peel the parchment paper off of the bottom, and because this is going to be layered, I'm gonna slice this. If I can get the parchment paper up, y'all. I'm going to slice this in two because I'm going to have a layer of brownie on the top and a layer of brownie on the bottom. So you want to make sure you get all of the parchment paper off. Which is a lot easier said than done. It's not really that difficult, but it kind of sticks to it a little bit. So you just want to make sure that you got all of that off. And then I'm going to evenly slice this. I wish I had a longer knife. That way I can go like slice it like all the way through like that. So I guess I'm going to turn this a little. So we're just going to kind of evenly slice it all the way around and all the way through it. Because like I said, we're going to put I'm going to put a layer at the top, on top of the cheesecake, and there's going to be a layer on the bottom. This is like really easier when you have one of those long knives where you can just kind of slice all the way through like that. Oh no, I sliced it a little too much, but it's okay, honey. You ain't gonna be able to see that once we put the other layer on there. So that's still kind of warm on the inside. I'm gonna let that cool. We got our two different layers, and I'm gonna use this one as my bottom layer, and I'm gonna put this one on the top because that would have just been a lot better if I would have had a longer knife that I could have just sliced through like that. So that is cool. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this sit here and cool just a little bit longer because the outside of it, the top and the bottom of it was pretty cool. But the middle side is still kind of warm. Like it's not like hot because I wouldn't be able to touch it like that. But it's kind of warm. So I'm going to let that, I'm going to let that sit and cool for just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to transfer one half of it to my bacon, I mean, not my bacon, to my, my cake platter. So I'm just going to cover this like this so I can sit and cool a little bit more. And I'll just check the edges of it like that. That way it cools really well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bottom layer. I'm going to put my bottom layer on first. And then I'm going to add icing to it and put the other toppings that I have that's going to go on there. I don't know if I told you all or not, but this is going to be a chocolate chip cheesecake brownie. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to put my bottom layer on. I'm going to put icing on it. I'm going to put chocolate chips on there. When the cheesecake is all the way cooled, I'm going to put it on top. And then I'm going to put icing on it. I'm going to put it on my top brownie layer. And I'm going to put icing on it and chocolate chips on it. And it's going to be like really good, guys. And there's probably like other people who have done, I like thinking of different stuff, but kind of have to do with kind of what I like too. But since this is like predominantly for me, I already told y'all I don't have a company like that. But I'm pretty sure there's other people who do like cheesecake brownies and kind of blend and mix the two and do it in all kind of different kind of ways or whatever. But I don't think, I've never seen anybody layer it like this, and with the other toppings that I'm going to use. So that's going to be kind of different. That's my own little special twist of how I want to do things. So like I said, I'm going to let this cool here for a little bit longer. It's still kind of warm. Okay. And then we're going to come back and we're going to ice in it. Okay, first things first, everybody. Because you allow the icing to cool as well, to make it spread smoothly, you just want you a hot cup of water and dip your spatula or whatever you're using in the hot water and begin to spread the icing evenly over the brownie. And do this all the way around it. You don't have to have a whole lot. That hot water, it warms up whatever spatula or whatever knife or whatever you're using, and it helps the icing to spread a lot easier, so it won't be stiff, because if it's too stiff and you're trying to spread your icing on, it will rip your cake or your brownie or, you know, whatever you have baked. So we're just going to do that. We're going to put on a nice little kind of thin layer of icing on here. You don't want it like super thick on here. You just really kind of want it on here because of the fact that you're layering it. The icing will help the other layers stick to it better. Okay. So you get that on there like that. Make sure it's evenly spread across. You can add icing to the sides if you want. If there's icing left over, I may, you know, go around it Okay. After you do that, I'm going to use milk chocolate chips. I've made a chocolate chip cheesecake before, and you basically do the same cheesecake process. You just add your chocolate chips to your cheesecake, and it comes out like really good. And you don't have to, like, put a whole lot on here, because you're going to add more with each layer, or on this layer and the top brownie layer actually. So you just want to make sure that it's kind of evenly all the way around the brownie. Just like that. I'll add a few more. Make sure you get that open spaces that's kind of just like left empty. There's something there. It really just kind of depends on your taste buds, what you like, how much you like. If you just want, to taste the chocolate chips, here and there instead of everywhere, then, that's cool too. Feel free to use this recipe for yourself if you like. I've just been kind of trying to think of some different things to do. Like I said, y'all know I'm a loner, honey. So things like arts and crafts, and baking, cooking, these are all things that I like to do. It really kind of helps, kind of gets your mind off of other things, especially when you are a target. So of course, for the individuals who are targets and watch this video, it kind of gives you an idea on something else you can do to kind of get your mind off of the bull crap that you're dealing with and you're going through. Okay. Of course, you want it on some type of cake platter, and you're going to you need a lid to go on it, so you want to make sure you have that as well. When the cheesecake is cool enough, we're going to put the cheesecake on. Then we're going to add the other brownie layer on top, and we're going to ice in it, and we are going to, it'll be all ready then. Okay. Well, I got the nail design done on all of my nails, you all. Can y'all see that? So I just want to show you all that. And we can finish my little desserts. Okay, so we have our cheesecake layer on. And I totally forgot that I used a different size pan, so I had to cut around the edges of that first layer of cheesecake to make sure that it was the length, the first layer of the brownie, I'm sorry, to make sure that it was the length of my cheesecake. So we're just going to put some icing on the cheesecake part. Just like so. And we're going to add our top layer of the brownie. And then we're going to icing it and put more of our toppings on. I kind of rushed this a little bit. This is a long freaking video, but I kind of rushed this a little bit just so I can get this done and show you all and share it with you all. Usually I would let the cheesecake cool overnight, but what I did is to freeze or to fast cool it, I put it in the freezer until it was like really solid. So I'm just going along the edges of the cheesecake and the brownie right now, and then I'm going to add the top layer, and I'm going to put on my toppings, and it is done. And I'll go back over this once I get the top layer on here. We make sure we have it all layered out the way we want. So feel free to use this recipe if you like. This is my own little personal little twist of a recipe. You really kind of need, if you want to really kind of go ahead and have this for dessert one night, you kind of, this is a dish that you want to start on early in the day, so possibly in the morning, and as early in the morning as you can. That way, you know, by evening or dinner time, whenever you eat dinner, that it'll all be ready and set. I don't know if I told you all or not, but you do want to keep this in the refrigerator. So once it's all done, you are going to store it in the refrigerator until it's all gone, because you have to keep the cheesecake cold. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're going to add our other layer of brownie. And I'm going to cut some of this off. I actually probably should have done this before I put it on. I'm going to cut some of this off. You know what? I really should have did this before I put it on. I actually... I'm not going to be able to pull it off of there because of the icing. I thought about it after I set it on there. But it'll be simple enough. You're just going around, basically cutting off the edge of it, just for so it can be the same size as the rest of it. And this is what I had to do on the bottom one. Of course, it was a little simpler because I did it before I added anything else. So this won't take but a second. I actually should have set it on my other pan to get it exactly like I wanted it. But like I said, I didn't even, I was thinking about it and I placed it on top of here like as I was thinking about it. And then it was like, oh, I should have cut the sides of it off. But that's it. So we're going to basically add icing to the top layer of the brownie. Okay. Just like so. I'm going to add the rest of our icing. And then I'm going to put more chocolate chips on the top, and then you will have your chocolate chip cheesecake brownie. Hope this isn't too long of a video. I normally don't do videos this long, but hey, if you want to fast forward through the video to see the finished product, how it came out and everything, you are more than welcome to do so. That's fine by me. I just wanted to share something with you all. I like to try to keep when I'm not too tired, because you don't even understand. It's like really, I could say it's late, but it's like really early in the morning right now. And yeah, so y'all know I be deprived of sleep like every night. So, and I'm like wide awake. But when many of you are probably asleep, so a lot of you probably won't see this until later today, because it is a new day. And we're gonna just slide that around the sides of it just to kind of make sure it's smooth. And it's all done, everybody. It's all done. So at this point I'm gonna put more of the chocolate chips on top. However, as I said, you do want to keep this in the refrigerator. If you made this after you get all of this done, you could sit it in the refrigerator for a little while longer. Like if you decided to make this in one day, you could let it refrigerate for the rest of the day and then slice it. Like if you wanted it for the next day, you can fix it on, day one, and by day two, it's super chilled the way you want and just like, ready to go. But I mean, we could really slice it now, because I made sure that everything was pretty cool and all of that before we did all of this, which you have to. Although it's good to cool it longer. Especially with the cheesecake, like the brownie is fine. Like once the brownie is done, it's done. And it takes it, maybe 10 minutes to cool or whatever. But the cheesecake should cool a lot longer. But I kind of sped the process of it just so I could show you all today, so I wouldn't have to come on and do a whole nother video just to show you all, how it turned out. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to get the chocolate chips And I'm going to add more of those. And that's it. I'm going to put this stuff up. I know this was a long video, guys. This is like longer than normal. However, I do appreciate everyone watching. Like I said, I just be kind of trying to do something, especially for those who are targeted individuals. Like, we go through so much all day, every day. Sometimes we just, you know, need to do something that's relaxing and calming, and yeah. Because most of us who are targeted individuals, we're like under attack all day. And if you're really a target, like, yeah, you are deprived of sleep every night. So you're like up anyway. And for those individuals, if you are up, then, you know, I'm up and I'm going through what you're going through. So this is like a cool little fun video to watch. You got nothing else to do. So anywho, I'm going to put the rest of these chocolate chips on here. And that's it, guys. It's all done. Remember, if you make this, you do want it on a cake platter with a lid. And make sure you got plenty space in your refrigerator, because it has to be refrigerated. Just like any other cheesecake, you would store it in the refrigerator or some cool place. So I just want to make sure I got chocolate chips like all over this. And just kind of throw some on the side. They'll stick right in the icing, so you don't have to get your hands dirty. Just toss them on the side, just like so. You don't have to do it along the sides if you don't want to. You know, if you're not a big chocolate chip type of person. If you can't have like a whole lot of, you know, sweets or something like that. Everybody's different. You don't have to have it on the side if you don't want to. If you want to make this specific recipe, you could just do it on the bottom layer like I did, and on the top layer of the brownie. And that's just fine. It's not like you have to do this a specific way as far as when it comes to like what toppings you want to put on there. And this is actually, I did this with the brownie. I mixed brownie and cheesecake. But this is the same process that you would go through if you made a cheesecake cake. So if you had 2 layers of cake and cheesecake in the middle of it, you would basically do the same thing that I just did. You would icing your bottom layer of cake. You would add your cheesecake, put icing on it, add your top layer of cake, put icing on it, and any other decoration or whatever that you want to add to it. Cheesecake cake is like really good too. I make a lot of times during the holidays, I make red velvet cheesecakes that are like so good. But I think I'm going to make a red velvet cake, a red velvet cheesecake cake. So it's going to be a red velvet. It's going to be, the cake is going to be red velvet. I'm going to have the cheesecake in between it. It's going to be good. But there's like a lot more ingredients and a lot more time to go into making a red velvet cake from scratch, because it ain't gonna be no box cake. I'm gonna make it from scratch, because that's how my granny made it. So that's how I'm gonna make it. Okay, and that is it, everybody. The cheesecake brownie, chocolate chip cheesecake brownie is all done. I appreciate everybody for watching. I do apologize if this video was so long. I had several different things going on, but I definitely appreciate everybody for watching. And let me see, let me get my towel. And I'm going to share a slice with you all before I put this up. It's really early, it's late, it's early, however you want to look at it. And I don't even need this darn late, but I'm going to slice it for you all, for you to see. How it turned out. Okay, I'm going to put that there and turn this around. This is your cheesecake brownie, everybody. Chocolate chip cheesecake brownie. So there you go. And you see you got your chocolate chips on there. That looks good on it. Oh, I don't even need this late. But I just wanted to share this with you all. I hope you all enjoy. I hope you try this recipe for yourself. And I'm going to take one bite because I don't even... Oh, I'm doing too much. That is so good. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. All I can do is one bite, y'all. That's it. It's too late. And I already gained too much weight, honey. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Peace, love, and lights. Bye.